Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have a special guest here today, my friend Jill, and we're going to share with you
Hello.
a brand new series called Neophiliadelphia. And it is,
Hello.
yes, I know. And it's like our first time doing it. So we're super excited.
Exciting.
Yeah, and we're going to share some fun and exciting things to do in Philadelphia on these segments. And whether you're a local tourist or maybe you're new to the area, from food, drinks to art to all kinds of fun things that Philly has to offer, we're going to be sharing some fun adventures. Before we dive in to our most recent adventure, I really wanted to share Jill and have her introduce herself and actually tell you a little bit about her knowledge of Philadelphia. So, Jill.
Hello, everyone. I am Jill, as Nancy said. So I am originally a country bumpkin. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. There was zero traffic lights where I grew up in the entire county. So very, very rural. But I've always been a city girl at heart. I had a quick little stint in New York, and then I have been in Philadelphia since 2001. So over half my life, definitely consider myself a Philadelphian at this point. Some actual Philadelphians born and raised, some of my friends say I know more about this city and all of the little like cool things to do and places to see than they do. So I have the nickname Jilly from Philly, which I love too. I know that's Jill Scott, but I'll take it as well. So yes, I love Philadelphia. Definitely consider this my home. And even after, like I said, 20 plus years, I'm still like finding new things to do and new things to love about my city. So that's how we came up with this little adventure idea. So Neophiliadelphia. It's a
Yes,
tongue
which,
twister.
yeah, which can you share with our audience? So, obviously, there's a reason for the name. So, what
Mhm.
does the name actually mean?
So neophilia, it just basically means the love of all things new. So that blends very nicely with Philadelphia. So if you merge them, we got Neophiliadelphia. And yeah, so it's the love of all things new in Philadelphia and the surrounding area. So,
Love it.
but I know not everybody, watching is from the Philly area. So hopefully you'll be able to recreate these adventures in your city. So, whatever we do tonight, the cat cafe, the little Ethiopian restaurant, like, just Google cat cafe near me. And I'm sure you'll be able to find something, to recreate the adventure. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. So if you're not from the Philadelphia area,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing. I mean, and absolutely, I'm using Jilly from Philly in featuring, right? That's absolutely. But yeah, so as we dive in, one thing that I also, Jill, I absolutely love, right? You're such a great planner. Anytime we go on trips together and things like that, which, just sharing a little bit about us is every year we now do an annual trip to Killington, Vermont. And Jill plans out the entire itinerary from start to finish. And I can't tell you from just like the shopping list to, what to pack to what we're doing each day makes it so much better for me because I don't have to use my brain, right? I use my brain all the time, way too much. And sometimes I just want to like tune out, especially when I'm on vacation or I'm
Yeah.
relaxing. So Jill takes the time to really plan things out and it makes the trip so much more fun because, right, I kind of fall into it and I just, surf, ride the wave of the
Go
plane.
along with the flow. Yep.
Exactly.
And that's
So,
like, some people think that's taking the fun out of it if you like plan everything to detail, but it actually allows for more fun because then you're not worrying about like, okay, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Where are we going to get food? Do we have these supplies? Like if everything's taken care of, then you just have time to relax and have fun. And of course, you can still be spontaneous and improvise during, your trip or your date, whatever. But I think just that little extra planning in advance really helps. So,
I
yeah.
totally agree. And I just feel like, I mean, I have anxiety. So like having
Yeah,
it like, controlled and like having everything planned out just makes me
same.
so much like more calm. And so I appreciate
Exactly.
it.
Yes, that's
So
the only way I can really relax on vacation is knowing that everything is planned out. So, agreed.
totally. And so, in this series, right, in Neophiliadelphia, we're obviously going to tap into some of Jill's genius. And again, both of us kind of coming together and, planning out the little trips, the fun things to do. And again, sharing our experiences so that you guys, hopefully, right, can take some of these little plans and adventures that we're planning and do them as well, right? We got to get out there. We got to enjoy life. I'm always a big fan of, really making sure that we're spending time to create memories and adventures and not just kind of hanging at home and, falling into the normal day to day. So we are definitely wanting to get you guys out there, getting you to do some adventures, and getting you out there, hopefully into the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
So before we even jump into our experience, we are going to start sharing. So a cocktail of the evening, which Jill has her special cocktail of the evening. So guys, just so you know, we also have a non-alcoholic as well, which we'll share in just a second. But Jill, can you share what your cocktail is that you're drinking?
I didn't come up with a name for it. We need to come up with a name for it, and I didn't put it in a pretty glass. I apologize, but it looks really pretty on its own. So this is orange juice, cranberry juice, coconut rum, and triple sec. So spring just started. I'm feeling a little fruity and springy, summery. So yes, cheers.
Nice. Excellent. Well, maybe we can theme it something cat because we're going to talk about cats tonight, right? That's our theme. So maybe like the tabby, like
yes, there you go.
Cat scratch fever.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And I am drinking actually one of my favorite wines, guys. It is 92 points, this guy, and for $8 a bottle. Okay.
He does love that stuff.
It is my favorite. It's actually the only wine.
I never see her without it.
I know. I was going to say it's the only wine I can drink that doesn't give me a headache. Like honestly, Cocobon. They make a dark version and they make a light version as well. It's from California. It's a red blend. It's so delicious. And our non-alcoholic option is La Croix, right? My favorite flavor is orange. So sparkling seltzer if you guys are non-alcoholic and you want to join us on our journey.
Putting it in a wine glass makes it feel extra fancy too.
Totally. In fact, it was funny. One of my clients was always drinking and I'm like, are you like dating? Like, and she's like, no, I just love, right. The glasses. I was like, I'm going to try that. And so I can't drink seltzer, not in a thin lipped wine glass. It's the experience. It's like drinking water, with ice, like ice cold water, like from a glass. It's like
so good.
So good. This. Yes. Again, out of the can, no bueno. Like, but
I know because drinking something out of the can like that metallic, it changes the taste completely.
Yeah, totally. All right.
I'm gonna try to get my cat up here. Speaking of cats, hi.
Oh, hi, Benny.
This is Benny. Say, I just turned 3. I'm a little rascal. And this is the only time you'll ever see me because I don't actually like humans in person or strangers. So the only way you can see me is on Zoom.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never seen him in real life. I don't think.
Nope.
Nope.
People are convinced that we don't have cats because like you come to our house, minus the cat hair everywhere that's now stuck on my lips.
So cute.
That's the only way you know we have cats.
Yeah, totally. So today we're going to dive into our adventure. So we actually recently went on this adventure and we originally were supposed to do wasn't it a skincare and sip?
Yes, which I really hope they come back. So that'll be a future episode. It's this awesome local company that takes into consideration your skin type and then helps you make skincare products that are designed for whatever, oily, dry, acne prone, whatever the case may be. So that'll be the future. I'm hoping they come back in the spring time. So yeah.
Awesome. So we did a little pivot, right? Because we're going to start doing these adventures once a month and going to some cool, different places that we can share with you. And so we ended up pivoting, and Jill sent me a little itinerary, and she's like, all right, let's go here instead. And so we booked a little trip to the Cat Cafe, which is called Le Cat Cafe, right? Le Cat.
Because it's a Parisian cat cafe.
Oh
Isn't
my
that
God.
cute?
Yeah, that is really cute, actually.
I saw that on their website. I was like, oh, that's clever.
Yep, that is really cute, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually pull up their website so that you guys can see where they are at. They're located on 2713 West Girard Avenue in Philadelphia. Jill, do you want to share a little bit about the Cat Cafe and what it's all about? And I'll do a little screen share here.
Good. So yeah, like you said, they're like 27th and Girard, which is it's called like the brewery town. It's right above like the art museum area in Philly. So it's actually the first cat cafe that opened in Philly. They were celebrating their 7th anniversary the night that we went. There are now a couple more cat cafes spread throughout the city. And like I said, I'm sure there's some where you live as well. But this one was the first. They opened 7 years ago. The founder, Kathy Jordan is her name. I haven't met her, but she seems like a fantastic lady. She got this idea, how to change up and make cats more desirable for adoption. So she literally rescues cats off the streets of Philadelphia. So cue the sad Bruce Springsteen song there. That's what always plays through my head when I imagine these poor little kitties out on the street. But so she rescues the cats off the streets of Philadelphia, brings them to this facility. And she makes sure that they have their food, their water, and that they get all the proper medical, treatments that they need. And then, you can come and interact with them. And if you're up for adoption or, thinking about adopting a cat, you can certainly adopt from them. They have about 20 or so cats at any given time. But also you can just come and visit and support them as well. So obviously they need lots of money for the food and the medical treatments for all. Oh, look at all the kitties. They're so cute. So sweet little babies.
Yeah, I was dying. They actually did, instead of March Madness, check this out. They did the Meow Madness. So it's like cats going up against each other. It's too funny.
Who's still there? All these little babies. Yeah, so you said little Dimples is still there.
Yeah. This one, actually, it's funny. When we first got to the Cat Cafe, we had Dimple, which is this little independent guy here at the counter. Now, it's a lady, so we were wondering if it was a boy or a girl. Dimple is officially a girl, and she likes to be looked at, but not touched. If you touch her, she will not.
She likes to be around you.
Yep.
She sat on the chair next to me all night and snuggled up next to my purse. But the second you try to pet her, she's like, no, get away.
Don't touch. Yeah. No.
Exactly. Yeah. I got her a little bit when she was sleeping. I got a couple little pets in when she didn't notice. Yeah. Aww. But it's so cute. She gets her name because on each cheek she has a perfect little circle, so they look like dimples, which is really sweet. I love her name.
Just super cute. Yeah. And I had this one cat that actually did end up getting adopted that night, I'm sure, because it was just loving up. It was playing the game, man. I mean, everyone was doing their art project, and this cat was like, hello, I love you. And climbing in laps and laying on chairs and just loving it up.
And he loved you. He was in your lab for an hour while you were coloring.
Oh my gosh. I was like, this is
up and loved you.
Yeah.
But that's why, so I definitely, right now we have a 7-year-old cat and a 2-year-old just turned 3. That was Benny, who you met. So we're not in the market for a new cat right now, but the second that we are, I'm definitely going to them because I love their mission for one, but it's such a great concept that you can really spend time with the cats and get to know their personality. So you can eat, if you want like a little snuggle bug, or there was that other cat, remember the new one that was really feisty and like kept instigating fights?
Like,
so cute.
they were like, the whole time we're like coloring and we're kind of drawing, and then it's like like a whole yeah.
So you have another feisty cat at home that needs, a wrestling partner, so whatever your situation is, other cats, kids, whatever, you could definitely find the cat that matches your personality and your home. So I can't wait, to go back and actually find our new kitty there a few years away.
Yeah. So. And there were like all different ages, there were some young ones, there were some old ones. So
my heart always breaks for them. Yeah.
It was so cute.
And I also think it's a great place to go if you want to adopt a cat. But I also was thinking, I was like, if like you love cats, but maybe your apartment doesn't allow you to have cats right now, or your roommate's allergic, or whatever the case may be, like you can't just support another living thing right now. But like if you love them, and then you could just go and still be with them. So the way it normally works is you pay, I think it's like $15 per person per hour, and you just walk in and you start hanging out with these kitties. Like I said, there's about 20 of them wandering around at any time. They call it a cafe. There's like a little Keurig machine if you want to help yourself to coffee and tea or whatever. The night we went, it was nice. They had, because it was a special event, they had wine and cider and little munchies out for us. But you can also do a membership, which I think is great, like especially if you live close by. So like you can do a yearly membership or a family yearly membership if you want to bring your kids. So I think that's just a great way to support them and find your new little furry friend as well.
Love it. And get your cat fill. Yeah, I used to do that. That was actually reminds me of full transparency. So when I used to work down near Mays Landing, every day, if I had a bad day at work, I would just go to the pet store. I would play with the puppies. Yeah. Every single day, I would just go and play with the puppies if I was having a bad day. And so it's funny. So
they're like, here comes that crazy lady again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, all the time. Right. And so the guy, it was hilarious because I came in one day and he's like, oh, I got one you're not going to be able to put back. And I'm like, haha, very funny. Oh, no. That's Ben. That's my baby.
He was so right.
He was like the cowardly little
That's
lion.
Awesome.
His little Cavalier mix. And he was laying there and he fell asleep in my arms. And I was like, like, I can't. So yeah, but anyway, so this is a good alternative to your point, Jill, right? Yeah. Like you can go, you can pet it, and then you can forget it, or you can subscribe for the year and support a kitty and do something nice. So I love it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Now, and they do mention they're always looking for foster homes as well. So if you happen to be, in the area and don't want to bring a cat into the house full time and just want to foster, that'll gives them more room, to bring other cats into their facility and just help more and more the merrier. So consider fostering too, if you can.
That is great. That's excellent. Yes. And can you tell the people, so do we have to book times in advance for when you're going, or can you just show up?
Yes, okay. I think so. So they are open 7 days a week. Forget their exact hours, but they are open 7 days a week. And you do want to reserve in advance, probably especially like on the weekends when it's busier. You might be able to just walk in, on a Tuesday afternoon. They're probably not that crowded. Especially if you're going in the evening or on the weekends, I would encourage you to book in advance because they, it's only so big. I'm not sure. They might let like up to 20 people max, I would say, in there at a time. So yeah, but it's easy enough to do on their website just to pick a time and prepay for it.
Excellent. Excellent. We ended up going, was it a Friday night? I think it was
Friday night.
Yep, it was a Friday night. So I actually was able to find parking, like literally like right on the street.
Which I was amazed by. I know. It was
was
great.
super lucky and good knowing me because I
Yeah.
get anxiety. Like if I have to like walk or try to figure out like directions or
Right.
whatever.
In a
So that
new
worked,
neighborhood or
that
yeah.
worked really well. But yeah, so parking wise, you know, there is street parking.
Hmm.
Don't know if there's public parking or like a parking garage or anything. But you'll have to kind of find the
Yeah.
street parking within the area.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. The couple times I've been to that neighborhood, it's been on weekends and like what would typically be busier times. I've always been able to find street parking, so just remember to pay the meter. But other than that, yeah, I haven't had any issues finding parking.
Awesome. Yeah. And that night, so the night that we went, they were celebrating, I believe, was it their 7-year anniversary?
Yep.
Was it?
7 years already. Yeah.
Yep. So we did some art, which we did this, and you did.
Oh, look, I actually brought mine.
You have
Look, I
yours.
framed
Oh, I was
it.
gonna throw a picture up there in the editing, but yeah, wait, show it. Can you show it like for a second? Beautiful. Look how pretty it is. Awesome. So yeah, we did it was just colored pencils and just coloring
Mhm.
like some pre-done images, which was so fun. And it was cute because they only had so many colored pencils and I guess more people up, you know, than expected. So we had to talk to other people, right? We actually had to
Yes.
borrow, you know, pencils and
The black pencil was highly in demand. There was like one black pencil for everybody.
yeah, I had a guy come over and he's like, "Can I use it?" I'm like, "Not done yet." I'm like, "Give me 1 second. And I will give you, you know, the colored pencils." So yeah, I know that was a VIP pencil. So yeah, so much fun. So that was the cat cafe, right? So we had lots of cats, lots of fun. Again, got my furry fill, which was great. I absolutely love anything that we can do with animals. So after leaving the cat cafe, so we went all the way up until closing. I think it was like 8 o'clock. My tummy was rumbling. And of
Yes.
course, we planned a super, super fun adventure at an Ethiopian restaurant. Now, I had never been to an Ethiopian restaurant and I had no idea what to expect. So, Jill, why did you pick this restaurant? And can you share also when we walked in what the experience was like? Because this was quite a surprise, but a
It
total,
was.
yeah.
So I had not been, again, this is all things new, right? I had not been to this restaurant before. You know, it's still a fairly quiet neighborhood. So there's not a ton of restaurants there, especially later at night. The problem was that a lot of restaurants were closing by like 9, and I knew we were going to be there late. But that actually worked out to our favor because then I found Era, which is this Ethiopian restaurant. And I had been to an Ethiopian restaurant like years ago, at least 15 years ago, somewhere in University City. I can't remember the name of it. It was also fabulous. But I remember it being such a fun experience. So I definitely wanted to try it again and have you experience it as well. So it's only a couple blocks from Le Cat Cafe. So
Super close.
definitely worth a visit. Didn't have to repark the car. You know, we just walked a couple blocks south. And we walk in, and I mean, it was kind of a dreary Friday night. So it wasn't like a hopping night, right? But at first, it's just like this dive bar. Like it's this huge rectangular bar. And, you know, there's just the locals hanging out.
Well,
I feel like everybody's.
Well, it was funny because the entire room was the bar. Like
Yes, it was like, huge. It was huge. And we're like, so we're thinking like, is this a restaurant? Because there's like no tables, it's just the bar. And I seriously feel like everybody's heads turned when we like walked in because like I feel like it's all locals and they're like, who are these chicks? But so then I was like, well, it says Era, this has to be the right place. So we walk past this huge bar, and then we do see that there's like this little dining room tucked behind, but there's nobody in it. So we're like,
the lights are out. Like it's like just
the lights were out. I forgot the lights were out.
We didn't realize the lights were out. We sat down. We thought it was mood lighting. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we saw the chef and we're like in the kitchen. There's like this little tiny kitchen off to the side. And we're like,
Yeah.
are you still serving? And he was like, yeah, go sit down. So like we sit down in the dark. We didn't even realize it. Like they flicked the lights on later. We didn't realize when we sat down, but we sat down at the only table. Like they have all these plants on the table. Our table had like this completely shriveled up dead plant.
Yeah. I took a picture of it actually. Yeah.
It's so sad.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so super sad. But the restaurant was really cute. You know, it had this beautiful mural painted of Ethiopia on the back wall. So, and the service was excellent. The food was excellent. So, but the reason, that I picked it was one, I love just like ethnic food. Indian food is my favorite food. This Ethiopian food is not as spicy as Indian food by any means. I guess you could maybe request different spice levels. I don't know. But the fun part is that you don't use any utensils. You use your hands, and they have this bread called injera, I think is how you pronounce it. I might be saying that wrong. Injera. But so basically they serve you, the injera is, this bread is both your plate and you rip off pieces of it. And that's how you scoop up the food to eat. And how would you describe like the injera itself, like the consistency and like the flavor of it?
Kind of like a thicker pancake that had kind of like a sourdoughy like taste to it. And it was spongy.
Yeah.
Like spongy.
Exactly. So it's kind of like a crepe pancake, but huge. It's like the size of a pizza.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a full pizza. Yeah.
And but they ferment it. So that's why I think sourdough is a great way to describe it. So it has like that pleasantly sour taste to it. The nice thing for you too, Nans, is that it's gluten-free. It's naturally gluten-free. So if you have that diet, you know, it's a great place to go for that reason.
Yeah. And so actually we're going to share the menu in just a second. But before I do, I'm actually going to show you a video of when we were there that night. Jill actually did a little tutorial to show how we eat and how we do, you know, how the proper etiquette is. So watch this video now. We have to do.
So first we pick up the little extra roll on the side.
Looks like a little bandage.
It's a little ace bandage, and you wrap up your wrist. So you take this little puppy and you're gonna scoop up all the goodness.
Ooh, okay. And that's like our fork and our spoon and our
No utensils.
There we go. All right, so this ace bandage. All right, now let me show you. All right, so here is the menu. All right, so do you remember what you got, Jill?
It was the lamb, and is it the tiba? The beg tiba, I think, the last one on the lamb menu. There.
Was it this beg tibs? Yep. So the beg
sorry,
tibs.
it's like I couldn't read it.
I'm sorry. Actually, no, you got the lamb. Yep. So it's sauteed. So the beg tibs was the sauteed chop steak with a medley of fresh onions, jalapenos, garlic, and tomatoes. And I got the steak, I believe, the steak tibs, which let's see, vegetarian sigatibs. The sigatibs. That's what I got. The sauteed chop steak with fresh onions, jalapenos, garlic, and tomatoes. So what I'll say is when we were placing our order, it was funny because you can get 2 sides, right, with every meal. So we, ordered that. When we went to say, okay, well, let's try the collard greens, which here's the sides, right? So collard greens simmered with onions and spices. We've got a house salad. We've got miso wat, which is splint lentils simmered in mild red pepper sauce. And then we've got kilt, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, wat, which is fresh a mix of cabbage, carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, ginger, and garlic, slow cooked until flavors meld. So as we were like ordering, I actually said, well, let's just get one of each, because there's 4. And the woman there was like, no. She's like, you could get a house salad anywhere. He was like,
No.
you can get a house salad anywhere. So why don't you double up on one of the other ones? So I think we ended up doubling up either on the or I think it was the fresh curried cabbage that we doubled up on. I think.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And honestly, everything was so delicious. I mean,
Yes.
again, gluten-free.
And very generous proportions.
Oh, super generous proportions. In fact, I was joking when it came out and then all the rolls and wraps, it looked like an ace bandage, because it was right. It was like wrapped like a little ace bandage. And so, it was definitely kind of cool because, right, you normally go for your fork or your knife or your whatever, but it's like, nope, right. This is a whole new experience. So I thought it was really fun because, again, never an experience that I have, had before, eating my food in a different way, and tasting some of those flavor combinations, which, again, the spices were just so good. And it was delicious.
Really yummy.
So really great suggestion. And what a treat. Because honestly, oh yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I was so surprised that it was an actual restaurant. Like after we walked in and saw what we did,
right.
Such a treat.
Yeah. And then we had the baklava for dessert too, which was very yummy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love.
That was the perfect little ending to it.
Yep. And we had leftovers. I mean, I remember I dropped your leftovers on the way back.
Just threw them down on the sidewalk.
I did on purpose.
They survived.
Yeah.
But then I left them in your car, so you got to eat them anyway.
Totally did. Yes, we got to enjoy those. Thank you. But yeah, I know while we were sitting there, so the funny little thing, right. So, Jill and I were talking about her adventures in Iceland and like all this cool stuff, about her trips and some of the things that she had been doing traveling. And it was really funny because all of a sudden, like, as we're kind of chatting, well, a couple things happened, right? One, a whole group of people came in. So it was about, what was it, like 3 couples, I think? Yes. At least like 3 couples come waddling in, right? And they're all like saying the same thing we are. Is this a real place? Like, is it serving food? What's happening?
Didn't see any like workers.
No, so they're all
they just wandered in off the street.
Yep, just like us, kind of like, oh, okay. So they all sit down, and while they're sitting down, they reach over and flick on the light.
We're like, oh my God, we've been sitting in the dark.
Oh, I mean, again, I thought it was mood lighting, but we were literally
sitting. Yeah, it was a nice romantic dinner.
Yeah, I was sitting in the room dark, and the light was like the neon sign outside, shimmering through.
Like the spillover from the bar, the neon signs from the bar.
Which I'm cool. It was cool with. It's
very
all
romantic.
But yeah, so that was fun. And then as we started talking and like chatting, right, all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see a cat come walking in.
Little black tail.
Oh my God. The first thing I thought was, oh my God, the cat from the cat cafe just followed me. Right. That little guy that was sitting on my lap.
You had a black kitty on your lap. Yep.
Hi, Mr. McNibbles. Oh my God. It's you. Yeah, no, totally. Caught off guard. So yeah, it was hilarious because the table next to us was like, oh my God, I have an allergy. And they were like,
oh. They're like, is that really a cat in a restaurant?
Yeah.
And then our server came like running out of the kitchen and she's like, oh, you escaped again. You escaped. I was like trying to shoo him back in the back of the restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, it was hilarious.
They must like live upstairs or something. He must like just like come down the stairs. I don't know.
Exactly. Remember he had a little snaggle tooth too. He was like,
so cute.
Like, we were like, hold on, we got to take a picture, like get it. And I don't know if we got one. If I did, I'll throw it up right here. But
yeah,
this little kitty cat, he had a little snaggle tooth, but he was so cute and just like loving. He was like, I just want to parade around and wish everybody a good evening. Like,
yeah,
really
he was super friendly.
Oh my God,
came up and got his pets. Yep.
So cute. So it was the night of cats, right? That was our theme.
Yes.
I ended up getting, actually, what did you order to drink? Because I actually had just whatever red wine that they had, which actually surprisingly was warm and delicious.
Nice.
Not bad.
I ended up going simple, Diet Coke and vodka, because it was like a dive bar. They weren't doing any fancy, craft cocktails.
Yeah. I was like,
I think we tried to order a mule. Yeah. And they were like, a what?
Yeah, they were like, we don't have ginger beer. We no, just like we have liquor. Like, and I'm like,
yeah. Okay. We have soda, juice, and liquor. What do you want to put together? Yeah.
We'll go with the wine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
again,
it was all good.
oh, awesome. So again, if you guys want to recreate this experience, number one, right, book your time at the Cat Cafe, right?
Yes.
So make sure that you have a slot there. Make sure you find some really awesome parking. And remember, right, like Era is literally like walking distance from the Cat Cafe. So you don't have to get in your car, you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yes.
This is like a one and done type situation. Cat Cafe
And we have a
closes at 8.
bonus.
Oh,
What'd
yeah.
you say?
Oh, I was going to say Cat Cafe closes at 8, so you can like head on over after that too.
They might also check their hours. I think they were open a little bit later because it was like a special event, the art night. But I think they might on Fridays typically close a little bit earlier. It's different each night. So just check ahead. And they do other like special events. I saw they were doing like a game night one night where I think you come and like play board games, which I would be so into as well. Like two of my favorite things, cats and board games together.
Oh my God, you love board games? That's it. Okay, I'm planning a
Yeah.
whole entire game. Like, in fact, I was looking up so on Philly the other day. So you shared a website with me. Oh wait,
youwishyouKnew.com.
Yes. Okay. You wish you knew, and we'll share that in the description below as well. So, I actually started a folder, right? So it's all the fun things that we're going to be doing. And then obviously some ideas, because I don't want Jill.
And she can't find it right now.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's my special. All right.
Oh my God. It's like perfectly labeled and everything.
Right. All right. So, yeah, this is Neophiliadelphia, right? So we got really cool things that we're planning out for you guys. Again, let us go through it and let us know, let you know if it's a good or a bad idea. But, I started writing out some things and a couple things that popped up that I wanted to run by, which, you know what, I'll ask you in just a second, because I did want to recap, this night really quick for everybody.
Yes.
So literally, if you guys want to book this adventure, this trip, book your time at the Cat Cafe. Go to Era. You can just walk in and go to the back and check in with the kitchen first, and obviously be prepared to turn on
the lights on,
get yourself settled, and maybe water a plant. And
right.
The other thing is you got to make sure to enjoy, really order something yummy and delicious, which really everything on the menu, honestly, like I was so excited about, like there's nothing on that menu I would not eat.
Exactly.
And then when you leave, make sure you throw the leftovers on the ground.
On the street.
Right.
But also, if we were there, it ended up being a rainy night. So we had one little like bonus treat planned for the end of the night that we didn't get to do, but I would love to do because it looks so cool. So if you are there on a nice night, there's this mural. I don't really know the name of it. I think it's like 31st and Girard. We'll put a link to like the exact location as well. But it's so cool. It came out a few months ago, and it's this mixed medium mural. It's paint, LED lights, and then augmented reality, like all working together. So it's 3 different artists. I want to give them credit. Let me check their names. So it's David Gwynn, Robert Goodman, and Brian Yetzer are the 3 artists that created it together. So it's on this old site where there used to be a brewery about 100 years ago. If you remember, I said the name of this neighborhood is Brewery Town. So there were a few breweries in this area. So they painted this mural on this old site. And the augmented reality part is you download this app on your phone, and which is called Future Valley app is the name of the app. Okay. And what you see in the augmented reality are these projected images of what they think Philadelphia is going to look like in 100 years from now. So 100 years ago, it was a brewery. Wow. Now it looks like what we know. And then the augmented reality part is like, what's the future going to be?
Like Mad Max?
Like, seems really cool.
Is
what
it like
did you
Mad
say?
Max, like desolate?
Exactly.
Like
Jetsons, hovercraft, all that. So I would love to go back and see that. I think especially at night, it's really cool because it has the LED lights and stuff in it. So if you can, if it's a nice night, I would, top off your night with that as well.
Awesome. And is that walking distance within?
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's like back up on Girard. I want to say it's like 31st and Girard. We were between 27th and 28th on Girard. So it's just like, 3 blocks west or whatever. So totally walkable to get there as well.
Awesome. So literally it'd be like cat cafe, go see the mural, right? And then go to dinner.
Yeah, exactly. However, your belly dictates which order you want to do things in. Yeah.
Totally. Awesome. So a couple things I wanted to run by you. And this is, guys,
Yes.
like literally we're wrapped. That adventure's over. This is just Jill and I riffing. So
well, that's like, as soon as you finish one vacation, like you have to immediately start planning the next one because like anticipation's the best part, right? Like you just get so excited.
Right, exactly. So I was dying because, right, so we went to Killington and, of course, like we were like having a blast. We had a great time. We drive home and immediately Jill's like, let's jump on a Zoom. We got to start prepping for next year.
Exactly. Let's pick the house, book the car. Let's do this.
Yes. And I'm like, oh, yes, absolutely. I'm totally down for it. And it's good because again, it's fresh in your mind, right? Like, you kind of know what's going on, what you like, what you don't like. We definitely have to have Wi-Fi next year.
Yes, I know. Well, I'm going to write the lady of the house because we loved that house. That house was amazing. Next year we should do a little, road trip segment to Killington.
Yeah. Oh my God. We totally, we'll share that with you guys, like many adventures, but like the place that we stayed at the first year had Wi-Fi. It was so cute. It was adorable. It was like a little like townhouse type thing. That was really cute, right? Close to Killington.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I was going to write the host and be like, we love your house. If you could get us like actual Wi-Fi that was working. I know she can't do anything about the cell service. It was so remote. There wasn't even cell service, but like if we could get Wi-Fi that was working, it would have been perfect. Absolutely perfect. So,
oh my God. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it was so funny. So,
we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Well, it was hilarious because okay, awesome. Yeah. I think it was a little like the connection's a little shoddy. So I mean, the one house, so the house that we stayed at this past year, was huge. We're talking like a house that could fit like 10 plus people. I mean, it had like tons of bedrooms. It had like double, triple bunk beds, in the one room.
You could fit 10 people in the master bedroom alone.
Oh my God. The master bedroom, I was like, holy crap. Like we ended up watching the Super Bowl.
It was like the whole top of the house.
Oh yeah. It had like a jacuzzi tub and like a whole
steam, shower, fireplace, everything. Like I said, you guys are getting the master suite next year. I was like, I feel bad taking the master suite.
No. I mean, hey, you spent all the time planning it, booking it and everything. Are you kidding me? Like,
but now it's kind of like rinse and repeat now, right? Like we figured it out. Like we kind of know it's much easier to plan now.
It's so much fun. But yeah, so one thing that we did and little peek behind the scenes. So it's funny because we went on this trip and this was our trip to Vermont. That we went on and the second day. So I actually, again, my little Legolands, man, they just don't work like they used to. And no matter how much I prep, I am not prepared for like the type of skiing these guys do. And
Killington's intense.
Like I don't ski. I didn't ski any other time. So like literally every time we ski, it's like go hard or go home. And it's like, we went down this mountain that literally like, I'm probably a green, like, honestly, like, I'm just going to admit it. I probably could go down the bunny slopes about 10 times and I'm good. Like they literally took me down like a blue/green/ I don't know.
We did the peak to creek, which means that's the longest stretch you can do on Killington. So the Killington peak. So like there's a few mountains on Killington, right? But like the actual Killington peak all the way down to the creek, which is like, it's like over 3 miles or something, like just that one run. It's a long run. Yeah.
No wonder why my legs were screaming. They were like,
you did so good. Except for when you hit your head.
Oh my God. I was coming down and I'm like, I got angry towards at a certain point though, like, cause you guys actually stopped and waited for me. So you rested your legs and then you saw me and you're like, okay, good. No, I want to stop for a minute. Let me just, and you guys were like off and I'm like, like I was like, no. So yeah, we went down and like my legs are killing me. And anyway, by the time I get done, I went to get back on one of them and my legs are like shaking at this point. And I'm like, I can't.
No, It's like, I'm going to hang out in the bar the rest of the day.
So
you had live music. You were good.
I actually had live music, which, by the way, all the 90s hits, all the cover bands. I know you're jealous. It was amazing.
Yes.
So I had a wonderful time there at the food bar there. And then the second day, right? So I just committed to my day off. Like, I'm like, you guys go, you do your thing. I'm going to just chill. So it was hilarious because as I'm sitting alone in this house, giant house with like cathedral ceilings and everything, no Wi-Fi, no cell signal. I start to like think, I'm like, oh my God, and I start writing this like story. And so I haven't even told you, but literally I have like this whole short story that I'm definitely going to publish.
Nice.
Okay.
I know you were working on it.
Yeah, it totally went spin. So I was going to do this whole thing like snowy in the mountains, all alone, whatever. It ended up spinning into some sci-fi thing, which I didn't know I was going to go there, but it's actually pretty awesome. And so I looped in my brother.
I can't wait.
But yeah, it's really good. So I think you guys will like it. But it's got some exciting stuff. Maybe M. Night Shyamalan will pick it up and maybe it'll be a movie. We'll see. We'll see.
Which, did you see Knock at the Cabin yet? The latest M. Night Shyamalan?
No,
it's good.
I keep forgetting. Yeah.
One of his better ones. So you need to check it out.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. Cause I know like, whatchamacallit, his last like few, people were like, all over
He's a little hit or miss. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But this one's worth watching.
Definitely.
For sure. Okay.
Definitely check it out.
Excellent.
So what's our next adventure?
Yeah. So I was going through some things. All right. So what we're going to actually plan out, and I thought would be really fun. It was somewhere called, was it Wonderscapes or Wonder Spaces?
Wonder Space. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to bring up the website for it. And then Jill, you've actually done it before, right?
I did it about 3 years ago, pre-pandemic. So yeah, I guess about 3 years ago. But the space, and they're constantly changing the exhibits that are in it. So I'm sure when we go, it'll be all new. But it's basically like these interactive art exhibits that are totally Instagram worthy. They're really fun. My favorite, which I think and hope they still have there, is like this body paint exhibit, but it's like this movie screen that senses your motions and you like dance and like your motions look like you're painting the wall, like you're dancing or moving or doing whatever, which is really, really fun. But yeah, they have all kinds of really funky, weird, different installations that you get to walk through and interact with. It's a cool spot for sure.
I love it. Yeah. So it looks like they do have it right there. It's called the body paint. So it says playing on our natural instinct to express ourselves through movement and dance. Body paint interprets our physical gestures into evolving compositions. Body paint is about interaction experience captured through this motion and the energy of the body. Oh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah. It's awesome. Really beautiful. It's fun.
So can you take pictures while
I don't know if they have it. I don't know if, I can't remember if they took pictures for you. I know like the friends that I was with, they took some pictures and like videos of, each of us doing it. I don't know if it's like one of those spaces, like some of these things, like they take the pictures for you and you have like a little QR code or whatever that you scan at each station. It wasn't like that from what I remember. I think you have to take the pictures. There was a augmented reality room where a couple, I think, where you actually put on like a VR headset. And there was like different experiences and like videos that you watched and went through in VR, which was fun. But it's like, I can tell just looking at like their little icons here. There's a lot of new stuff as well that I haven't tried.
It's awesome. Yeah. And it looks like, these are put on by different artists, right? That have kind of like a vision.
Yes. Yeah. I think like each is a different artist. Yep.
Oh, I love that.
The
Yeah.
night we went, I actually saw Mike Jarek from he's hilarious. If anybody watches Fox 29 News in the morning, oh my God, I love him. He's so inappropriate and hilarious and like does not edit himself for TV at all. He's fantastic. But he was there. He's always out and about town. I've bumped into him a couple times, different places.
That guy?
So, but he was there that night.
Is it that guy?
Which guy?
Mike Jarek?
Yes, Mike Jarek. He's like the morning news anchor for Fox 29. He's awesome.
Can you see my screen?
Oh no. Your screen, well, I still just see there, him. Yes, that's him.
Got it.
Oh my God, that's him when he's really young though. The picture in like the top right is what he looks like now with gray hair.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know, like 30 years ago, that first picture there.
I love that. Yeah. So I think this is really cool. So like some of these experiences are interactive. Like this one is Before I Die. So you actually put in, this was created by an artist, Candy Chang, in New Orleans after the death of a loved one. So you can actually fill in, before I die, I want to blank. Right. So that's kind of a cool way to like, put it out there. I like this one too. The last word is basically, everyone writes something on this paper, something that was left unsaid. So there's thousands of tightly rolled pieces of paper left untouched on the other. Offer an opportunity to anonymously complete your conversations or explore the unexpressed sentiments of others. So I think that's really cool. So I love that like interactive experience. I like this one too. It looks like Rainbow Room. It's just a bunch of yarn, like all.
That's cool. Yeah. Nice.
So super cool. So
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's definitely one I want to plan. The other thing, because you mentioned, right, you really love board games. I really want to do right, the weather gets warmer. I definitely want to do like one of the parks. So I wanted to ask, have you ever been to Spruce Street Harbor Park?
Oh, it's so cute. Like only when the weather's warm. It's so beautiful. It's right on the water along the Delaware River.
Yeah.
And they have these hammocks like strung between the trees, and that they have these LED lights that like shoot down different colors, like they long like icicle looking, but not icicles, just tubes. And so it's like all lit up and there's hammocks and it's so beautiful. It's right on the water and they have like little food trucks. It's like a little taco shop there that you can get food and just kind of like sit by the water and eat and drink. There's a little beer garden. It's a really cool spot. It's really cool.
So I was thinking we could actually plan a board game type themed night. And we could come, it could just be me and you, or we could bring a couple people and then we could do like a challenge. We could either do like a Scrabble tournament or we could do like bananagrams. I don't know if you've played bananagrams.
Yes. Yes, I have and love.
Yeah. So we could like pick a game and we could actually have like a little tournament at Spruce Street Harbor Park. I thought that would be fun.
I love playing game, and that's actually a really good spot for it because it's already like a fun atmosphere. They have it's a little bit kind of like being on the boardwalk down the shore, like in Ocean City. So like there's a little mini arcade there already. Like a little further up is where they have the roller skating rink and the Ferris wheel and stuff. So it's a fun atmosphere on a nice, spring, summer day for sure.
Well, I definitely, I want to, I was going to say, let's plan it for like an all day thing where we like literally like from start to finish, it's going to be like game, like tournament, like battle, like all the way into the evening.
My family's Christmas day is like that. It is like board game tournament day. And Mike is not the biggest board game person, so I don't get to play them that often. So anytime that like somebody invites me to play board games, I am there. I'm very competitive, but I love them.
Excellent. Well, you're definitely coming. So my family does the same thing. So every Christmas, like literally we do like family challenges and stuff. So my mom does this whole like grab bag where you can, if you win, right? Like we have a spinner And like it goes to
Uh-huh.
random people and you have to like you get to pick a prize. And then also if you win the game, you get to pick a
Okay.
prize. But all the prizes are more board games. And so literally we have like you could see our entry closet. Like I should have like a library for like board games. I mean, we have
Yeah.
like 100 of
Nice.
them. But games that we haven't even dug
I
into
love it.
yet, which are so
I
fun.
love
But
it.
yeah, so I should have you over with one of my family events. You would probably
Yes.
fit right in. Awesome.
Definitely, please.
Excellent. All right. Well, I love it. All right. So everyone who stayed right on this video up to this point, stay tuned, right? To have some really awesome adventures coming down the pike. You know, we just started doing this. So the goal is that we're going to actually start doing like once a month. So Neophiliadelphia, and maybe, I mean, even
Yes.
more. We'll see. We'll start releasing stuff as it happens.
Yes.
But you know, one little thing that we also want to share is because we really like to enjoy our experience while we're there. We do take a little bit of video, right? But we share mostly pictures and
Yeah.
things like that. But we want you guys to experience it, you know, for yourselves. And of course, if it's a great experience, we're going to get it out there. We're going to share it with you guys. And if there's anything that you guys love to do, love about Philly, you know, adventures that you've had or really awesome days, please share it in the comments. Would love
Yes.
to hear your favorite places to visit in Philly as well. Again, we're going to share a lot more. And of course, Jilly from Philly has been a lot of different places, but we're going to definitely circle back and cover some new and different adventures for you guys as well. So stay tuned for the next episode of Neophiliadelphia.
Philadelphia.
All right, make sure to hit subscribe and like
Win
and
the
all that good
lottery, don't
stuff.
to us.
Yeah.